Hi guys, Rishi Sunak sat down with Trevor Philips of Sky News ahead of the May elections to try and give his party a last-minute boost. However, the Prime Minister didn't come across as someone in charge of a united party ready to take on both the local and general elections, but a captain of a sinking ship. To make matters worse, the man leading the party is a terrible campaigner, which was rightly pointed out by former Tony Blair spokesman Alastair Campbell. Have a listen.
Alastair, were you at all... of course you're not going to be convinced, but just assessing his performance there.
Well, I really think he's terrible. I think he'll be terrible for the Tories in a campaign. If you can't get through 18 minutes with you without getting petulant and tetchy and all the stuff we've seen, I just don't think he's very good at this. And you just said in your introduction, he's in full campaign mode. It's all he's ever been. Do the job, govern. And when he said, for example, on Rwanda, first of all, his numbers are... you didn't have time to sort of go through all the numbers. You rightly pointed out that on one of the numbers he said he was wrong. He's wrong on lots of them. There have been 500 have come since his press conference last week. By the end of next week, on current ratings, it's going to be the highest up to April 12-month period that we've had. And this Irish point, he talked about having control of the borders. Does he not understand that the United Kingdom border is on the island of Ireland, and that's the bit that they're crossing? The ones that the Irish are now saying, you're pushing towards us. Okay. So I just found the whole thing absurd.
I'm just looking at the question on your screen which saying, is the PM bad at politics? Which is a pretty bad thing to have out there. I think there was...
Yeah, and he's correct. It's pretty bad to have the question as, is the Prime Minister bad at politics? Obviously, it's almost a rhetorical question. Now, a big problem for Rishi Sunak is that he's never won an election, in the sense that he's never really campaigned and won his seat. Because if we look at the seat that he currently holds as a Member of Parliament, it's Richmond Yorks. And he won the seat back in 2019 with a majority of 27,200. He won it back in 2017 with 23,000 and 2015 with 19,550. Now, the reason why I say that he's never won an election is because this seat used to be held by William Hague, the former leader of the Conservative Party in opposition, and he had a majority of 23,000. So when Rishi Sunak took over, he took over a safe seat. 23,000. Now, 23,000 today isn't very safe, but back in 2010, it was extremely safe. It was a guarantee that you were going to hold on to this seat. So Rishi Sunak has never really had to campaign to win his seat. He's basically just spun his wheels and got back into Westminster each time. So what's going to happen in the general election? Because the local elections, the Prime Minister has very little influence over. But the general election, you're going to have Rishi Sunak go out on the street, meet people. He's not very good at that. He's going to have to do debates. He's not very good at those either. So I don't know what he's going to try and achieve by campaigning, because he's not a very good campaigner and he doesn't know what's necessary to win an election. But I have said before that Rishi Sunak has probably already accepted this reality and said, look, we're just going to lose. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose. I'm going to stay in my position as long as possible, probably the autumn, if possible, January next year, and just make as much money for my family and myself as possible. But when it comes to the campaigning, he's going to be the figurehead, and it's going to be pretty terrible for his party. He's no Boris Johnson, for example. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.